The idea that God somehow wants us to kill something that exists, something that God has created, in order to offer it back to God, is as ridiculous as the idea of killing animals or killing virgins. So first of all, with regard to the diyas that people put on Ganga, is it necessary to worship Ganga in this way? Absolutely not. And in fact, we've stopped it all from our ghat. I know there are still people from the market who sell them and people come, but from our ghat, from our side, in our arti, there is nothing that is put in Ganga, not even flowers without the diya. In the spectrum of things that you could put in a river that pollute the river, flowers are obviously at the least harmful level, but nonetheless, you're absolutely right. They end up bunching together, they wash up downstream. They absolutely end up choking the river in a lot of places. And it's totally unnecessary. God created this beautiful earth in which flowers exist on flowers. The idea that God somehow wants us to kill something that exists, something that God has created, in order to offer it back to God, is as ridiculous as the idea of killing animals or killing virgins. There are traditions throughout history, thankfully not now, but that used to sacrifice young virgin girls to God as though somehow God wanted that. There's still traditions, tragically, that sacrifice animals as though somehow God wants that. But the idea, even though this is a much more harmless or less harmful way, the idea that God creates something so beautiful and then wants us to kill that in order to offer it back to God makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. The flowers that should be offered are flowers that have freely given themselves from the stem. This is what Pujya Swamiji teaches. Don't pluck flowers. You'll see signs up here all over the place. Do not pick flowers. But that's for puja. Into Ganga, nothing. Nothing into Ganga. We are with you fully. We've tried to stop the flower boats many times, but in a free market situation, it's hard to stop it completely. We've stopped it a lot. We've certainly stopped it happening from our ghat. So absolutely we agree with you fully. Nothing should go in Ganga. And the second question with regard to the other waste and sewage, it's awful. It's something we've been working on for a very, very long time. And the only thing I can offer you is that it's getting better. It's a lot better than it used to be, where there's now one, there used to be many. It used to be sort of wherever you looked, there was waste flowing into Ganga. By God's grace, it's much less. Nonetheless, there is still critical work left to be done. And this is where it really needs to be a people's movement. We have what we call unshin, which is, like a demonstration. People go for unshin and we demonstrate. But in addition to unshin, we need action. And this is where one of the things that we work on and are so committed to is bringing in technologies. Bringing in better and better and better technologies. And whether it's sewage treatment plants that don't get flooded in the monsoon, that don't, run on diesel and then run out of diesel and all of the things that ends up messing up the treat the waste programs. We're constantly trying to bring in newer and newer technologies. So yeah, it is absolutely awful. We agree fully. And just to say that we're working for it, but we actually need everybody to work for it. Ganga is for everyone. And what that means is that it's all of our collective responsibility to do whatever we can with our technology, with our time, with our talent, with our resources. Yes, there's things that are the government's responsibility, but the government is made up of us. Government humse alag nahi hai. And so rather than criticizing and condemning government, what it means is that we all need to stand up and be part of the change and take action to bring a change.